Pleasure to meet you, and welcome to the United States, and welcome to the Harold family, and also welcome to this family of friends, because there are a lot of longtime friends here, and we are happy to have you in the family. All right, so let's see. So Dave asked me to give a talk tonight, and I thought a lot about what I was going to say and how I was going to direct it, and there's not too much for me to say to Dave because I've known him for so long. So I'm going to say everything to Suchia because I've just met you, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Dave.
Sure, come.
All right, so let's see. So I promised Dave I would keep this short, so I've confined my talk to the most important subjects, and but I've got a few stories to relay. Just prior to the stories, I'll tell you that Dave and I grew up with each other and knew each other from the time we were 2. And I think we met, if I'm correct, when Mrs. Harold was strolling Dave around the neighborhood, and my mom and I were out front, and that's how we came to know each other. And we lived 5 houses away, so we played all the time outside, sports and doing different things. And I would also say that the Harolds are like my substitute parents. If I was out up the street, the Harolds were keeping a good eye on me. So we've been very close for a long time. Now, stories. So I've got 3 stories for you, all to reveal certain things that you should probably know about Dave. So the first story I've entitled Naked Photos.
That's recent.
So my mother is a big photographer. She takes lots of pictures still, and took lots of pictures that we have in photo albums. And Dave is in many of these. Sometime you should ask my mom to show you the pictures of him when he was a kid. A disproportionate number of these feature David and I naked. Apparently we didn't wear clothes very often when we were young. I'm not sure why, but the photos, fortunately, were pre-Facebook, so nothing, as far as I know, is on the internet. It's all in these books, thankfully. But if you ask my mom, you can see these photos, and ask my mom to explain the caption, oh, there's a bee in the bush. Anyway, so. All right, so number 2. Story number 2 is about David's acting. You probably already know that David loves drama and, does extra work and so forth when he can. But I'll tell you about where this all came from. So when Dave and I were in the 5th grade, Mrs. Harold got us to sign up for the local children's theater production of, do you know Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by any chance? Okay, so Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, Dave and I were not good, but we were some of the few boys who tried out, so he had to take us, and we each got a role. And David was the skinniest boy in the entire neighborhood. He's just super skinny all the time. But ironically, he got the role of Augustus Gloop, who's the fat boy. So I remember Dave eating lots and lots of candy, trying to get into the cart so he could gain the weight to be Augustus Gloop. He couldn't do it. He didn't get him out. So they had to pad him extensively so he could play Augustus. And he did a fantastic job. After that, I think I tallied up at one point that we had been in something like 25 plays or skits, from the time we were in the 5th grade through high school. So he's done a ton of acting, and I still expect that one of these days he's going to be a star. We'll see. Now that he's back in LA, it's possible. And one of these days, I also expect that he might actually gain some weight. He's still so All right, let's see. Last story. Running away from home. So the last story, I guess, starts with me because I was really the culprit. So when I was little, I was really into dinosaurs, and there's a place called Vernal, Utah that's known for its dinosaur fossils, and I asked my parents to take me there. They wouldn't do it, or probably couldn't afford to do it, so I decided I would just run away and go there by myself. So I don't know if you know what a big wheel is. Probably big wheels have vanished, but they're these little children's motorcycles. So I got on my big wheel, I packed it with some crackers and some water, and I left to go to Vernal, Utah. Now on the way out of the house, Dave was there. And Dave wasn't really that interested in dinosaurs, but when he found out that I was running away, he said, well, as a good friend, he said, well, I'll come with you. So Dave went up to his house, he got some crackers, he got some water, and we went away on our big wheels. And we got as far as the street corner, and then we realized that we weren't allowed to cross the street. So we got stuck there until our parents came and found us and brought us back. But that was, what a good friend is he would have run away with me to Utah. Have you been there yet? If I needed something or when I come home, David is always there for me. It's like when we start talking, it's like I never left. So even though we haven't spent a lot of time in the same place in our adult lives, I feel like David is still such a great friend. And that's what I think is the important thing to transmit to you, is that you married just a really faithful, wonderful man. I've always considered Dave the best guy, and I know he'll be a great husband. So, and then one last thing is that again, this is a room filled with people I've known for a very long time. Quite a few I've known for a very long time, and these people are like family to me too. And I know they will be your family too. And I hope if we can help you in any way or support you in any way, we are there for you, and we wish you the best. Anyway. So that's it, and now on to, I think, the vows, the ring, the kiss. Right?
Yeah, a lot of times it gets me in a lot of trouble, which it probably will get today. I've kind of written out the actual vows, but before we get to the vows, I kind of just want to give a little history, because some of you don't know our history. So we met, as people do in this modern times, on a dating app, and we met in Jakarta. When I first met her, I had no interest in marrying her.
Wow.
It gets better. Like I said, maybe I should be improvising this. But you might have noticed there's a slight age difference. And I'm thinking my future wife we can't have this kind of age difference. What are people going to think? What are people going to say? We just can't have anything in common. But I really enjoyed her company. We had a good time together. And we met a couple times in Jakarta. But then COVID hit and it was off to Bali for me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to chill in Bali as COVID goes through its problems. And then she ends up in Bali for a job. And I saw somehow through social media she's in Bali. I'm like, hey, if you ever want to come by and say hello, say hello. So a couple days later, I get a message. She goes, I hate the guy I'm working for. I want to leave. He's kind of a jerk to me, but I'm staying with him while I'm working with them. Would I be able to stay with you for a couple days? I'm like, sure. So when she came to stay with me in Bali, I had no intention of ever marrying this woman. Age difference, everything else. So yeah, I'm just being a good person. Like Todd said, I'm there for people. I was there for her in Bali. Let her stay for a few days. Those few days turned into a few months. Then she got a job in Jakarta. And so she left me in Bali. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Never intended to go long term with her anyways. So she went to Jakarta for work. And then she's like, I miss you, I want to come back. I'm like, well, why don't you keep on working? And eventually she did come back to Jakarta. And I'm like, that's fine. COVID's gonna be over soon. Spend some more time with her. And then we kind of had a little bit of a rough patch, as people do, and we separated for a while. And then I'm like, okay, that's fine. Never been intended to be a long-term thing anyways. And then a couple days later, I'm like, I was real upset. I miss this woman. And that's how I felt when I... Okay, anyways, get back to humor. So then I realized that I didn't want to be with her. And sometimes you have to lose something to realize how much you want it. As funny as intended. Anyways, so after that moment, I said, yeah, this is woman. And another thing, she put up with me. A lot of people, because, I wasn't really serious. They'd see that and they would give up on me, and she didn't. She wouldn't give up on me, and I needed someone like that, because or else I will dismiss the person. And so she stuck through me through all that, and that's why we're together. So, and by the way, in between the time she might hate me for saying that, she did meet someone else who's younger, better looking, and richer, and she chose me over him. So I want to point that out. There's that old Karl Marx, or not Karl Marx, Groucho Marx saying, I wouldn't want to be a member of a club that accept me as a member. And I always tell her, it's like, I would never want to marry someone who'd want to marry me. There's something wrong with them. But here we are, together. So now, let me get to the vows. Here we go. Here's my vows. Suchiya, I promise to annoy you with my indecisiveness. I promise to continue to scare you whenever possible. I promise to irritate you by asking if you've seen something I've misplaced. I promise to make stupid jokes that annoy you. I promise you that I'll make many mistakes without even realizing I'm doing something wrong. I promise that if I let out gas in public, I will blame it on you.
Thank you.
I promise you that I will never clean the room or dishes as well as you would prefer. But if you can put up with that, I promise you that I'll put your wants and needs in front of mine. I promise to protect you and take care of you. I promise to buy you cute outfits that make you look adorable. I promise that I'll be at your side through any challenges that you may come by. That's horrible grammar. And I was going to say, I promise to be the best husband I can be. But I'm not perfect, so instead I promise to try and be the best husband I can be, and hopefully you can forgive me when I make mistakes. And finally, I promise to be the best father to our future children. And I promise I will. She had AI right now. Hopefully it's the right size.
Dude, that's beautiful.
Congratulations, and we wish you the best, and you can kiss each other.
Center. Thank you again for all coming.
It's a nice little cake.
Yeah, just do the first. For me, that's
Yeah, he did already.
I'm doing it like this. She looked at me and I went like this.
Yeah, you can do it.
Dave goes first. Dave goes first, right? Dave goes first. Dave goes first.
Yeah, Kim goes first.
There you go. Oh, nice catch.
Remember, she has very nice makeup on her.
big knife. It's a big knife for her.
No.